Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a brand new video. Now today you join me inside the Golf Mark 8 GTI once again. So we're basically doing a review again. I feel like the first one wasn't really properly done. I was like satisfied with it, but there were like some imperfections in the video, and I just thought I'd like another go. So you joined me today at Lani Motors, which is the local VW dealership out here in Zanin, and they have this beautiful white Mark 8 GTI, of which we're reviewing today. I think today I'm not really going to go much into like the stuff that I did in the first video. What I'd like to do is to show you more of the stuff that I didn't really show you, like the infotainment system and all the tech gizmos inside the car. We're not gonna dwell much into like the engine specs and whatnot, but we are going for a drive and we'll still explore the performance a bit. So I really do hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's get right into it.
The feeling's going through. It's always you. It's always you. It's always you. It's always you.
So guys, here's the exterior. I think first I want to show you like the new key. So this is the key. As you can see, it's gloss black with like a metallic surround, and it's very smart, looks very clean. And as you can see, this car is very wide. You have the red GTI light bar that runs across the entire front of the car. Oh, I want to show you the lights, so I think I should like put it on. So if I put the ignition on, there we go, then the lights should come on, like so. So you have the full IQ light bar that runs across the entire grille, and you have the matrix LED that can do all sorts of clever stuff, like dim down part of their beam so that you don't dazzle other drivers on the road. They're very cool. So this one has the upgraded 19-inch rims, which are diamond cut, and they're two-tone, the gloss black with the silver touches, with the red GTI logo on the side. And that's the car. Like I've said, I don't really want to dwell much into like the exterior features and whatnot, but I'm just gonna show you the car. What I want to dwell into is the interior features, because I didn't really jump much into that. So I'll just close the door. So I'll just lower the volume. So you're greeted with a digital driver screen, and now it has like a GTI logo in the center of the rev count with some honeycomb graphics. I think I want to switch on the dome lights. Yeah, because the ISO on this camera isn't that good, so it looks very dark. But there you go. You can see the steering wheel, the new steering wheel, much better. So on the screen, you can do a bunch of stuff. So I think this is the default setting or look on it. You have like a power reader on the left, and obviously the rev counter in the center, and then you have a G meter on the right hand side, because this is a hot hatch obviously, so you need to have those kind of gauges. So the screen can show a bunch of other views. So you have a view button right here, of which obviously when you click it changes the view. So now you have more standard or generic looking rev counter and speedo layout, but you still have the power and G meter displayed there as well. You can press it again. Then you have like a full width map, which looks really nice. You can see where you are, and because this is directly in your line of sight, you can see it much better when driving. Oh, there's also a little heads-up display. I just noticed a little small smidge right here. Can you guys see that? So it shows you your speedo. That's very, very neat. So This is the new VW steering wheel. It is perforated on your gripping point, and the control buttons are touch sensitive, and they're also haptic feedback. So when you click on them, they vibrate just to verify to you that okay, you've done something. So the volume control, you can slide on it like that. It increases the volume. You can slide to the left and it lowers the volume, or you can click on it like that. It'll still do the same thing. So I'm clicking on it, or you can click on the minus button to lower the volume, and basically all the other buttons are controlled in the same way. I'll click view again to go back to the default look. So there we go, because then I want to get into the infotainment screen. So this is the main menu. So you have telephone, radio, media, navigation, vehicle, connect, sound to play around with the equalizers, background, and help. So if you don't know how to find a certain feature, I believe you can click help and then search whatever. So if I go on background, that's where you have the controls for the ambient lighting. As you can see at the moment, the lighting is red. So if I go on color 1 and move the wheel, you can see it changes the colors. It also changes here on the driver screen, as you can see. So you can have like a white, red, orange, yellow, green, and basically you get the idea. So your purple, pink, yeah, basically you have a whole host of different colors to play around with. If I go back on the main screen, if I go in vehicle, you have a bunch of information. So if you can also like slide, okay, so back to main menu, so vehicle, then you have to click vehicle again, then you can slide, then click brakes. Then this is where you can turn on and off your traction control, or ESC, electronic stability control, that is. So yeah, a lot of people complain that it's very complicated, not easy to use, but you really do get used to it quickly. One drawback I've noticed, if you look at all the buttons, they're backlit. Like the buttons on the steering wheel, you can see them clearly, they're lit in white, even the ones here for the shortcut menus. But you have these buttons up here for the climate control, and these aren't backlit. So at night you go to control the temperature and whatnot, and you can't see what you're doing. So I think that's a major drawback, but hey, I can skip past that. So you have like a shortcut for your climate controls and your seat comfort controls, because the seats are both heated and cooled. So this is the control for cooling the seats, and listen, I don't know if you guys can hear, but they're basically blowing cool air on my bum to cool me down when I'm feeling hot. And then you can also go to heat them. They don't make any noise when you turn on the heating. You'll just know. You'll just feel it. On a cold day, you can put on your warm seating, and then you'll get warm. But yeah, so there's a whole bunch of stuff you can play around with. App Connect, it has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and also finally on a Golf you can get it with Harman Kardon. So this one has, if you look there, it says Harman Kardon. I don't know if you guys can tell, but yeah, I believe this has about 500 watts of sound power. What that basically means is that the sound system is very nice. That's all you need to know. So the interior is very minimalistic. There's no big gear lever, although being a car enthusiast, you kind of miss shifting manually with that big lever when you push it to the left and it goes into manual. But the advantage of that is that it looks very spacious. It feels very airy around here. And yeah, it says Golf there. I mean, the ISO is quite poor on this camera, but I think it appears a bit. It says Golf right there, which is very nice. There's a GTI badge on the steering wheel with a touch of red. And yeah, the light controls are also touch sensitive. And if you look here, there is a little black marker on the mirror right there. That's for your blind spot monitoring. So if you're driving say on like a 2-lane road and there's a car beside you, it'll illuminate like an amber orangish light just to alert you that there's a car on your side so that you don't accidentally swerve to that lane. I want to take you back to red. Where is it? Orange? Yes, red. But yeah, how can I forget? So the control, okay, I think if I switch off the dome lights, will it appear better? Actually, it looks worse. Okay, I'll put that on. So the sunroof control is also touch sensitive. So how you open the sunroof is that you just slide your finger like that and voila, the sunroof opens. How cool is that? That is very cool. And to close it, you do the same. You slide it forward and it closes. There you go. And then if you tap on the back, it'll tilt a bit, and then to shut it completely you slide again and then it'll lower down. But basically it's very nice. I like how the dash is layered and there's like a honeycomb effect right here. This car has a thing with honeycombs. Also right here on the door trim there's a honeycomb effect. But yeah, it's very nice. That new car smell too. The seats are very like supportive. They like grip you in and you don't slide around when you go to thrash this car. So I think enough talking. Right now I think all that you lot have been waiting for is the driving part. So let's get to experience how this car drives. Let's get right into it. Okay guys, so you join us inside the Mk8 Golf GTI with some parking sensors being angry with me for a bit there. But first few meters of driving, I mean, it's a Golf. They're very great at driving comfortably, and like basically everything is just perfect inside here. The car is relatively quiet. You have all the tech gizmos you need. The heads-up display looks really nice up in front of me. And yeah, I'm not sure if this car has like a adaptive suspension, or maybe it is an optional extra, something like that, but it rides over bumps really well. I mean, and also the proportions, the car is not too big, so it's easy to maneuver around town and make some tight squeezes and all of that. And you have all the surround parking sensors, so to help you maneuver into tight spaces. I think it also has features like park assist. I'm not really sure, don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it might have that feature where it can read out a space and like automatically park itself. So you just control the pedals and then it'll do the steering. But so if I go into mode, I can change. Currently the car is an individual where you can customize it to your own liking. I think I'll put it into like sport, and once the time allows we can explore it a bit. Also, the car was parked for a while, so I'm just gonna wait for it to warm up a bit before we can, you know, exploit the performance. Okay, so guys, you joined me a couple of minutes later, and I think right now the car should be good. Let's just try a one pull right here. The performance is very solid. Like, remember, this car has about, I think, 180 kilowatts, which is around 245 horsepower, and 370 newton meters of torque, which is a lot. So I think 0 to 100 kilometers an hour should come up in about, I think, low 6. They're about 6 seconds, somewhere there about. I think maybe I should try to drive with my window down. Hopefully the wind noise isn't too much. But I'll try one pull now. Yep, it has all the good DSG pops on upshifts. And I think it has some burbles as well. I'll try to make it burble, but maybe it's not quite warm enough. But oh, remember, it has that clever front diff. We'll try it out right now through this curve. Ooh, does have some burbles. So remember, with the GTI's differential on the front, it's electronically controlled, but it's actually mechanical. So it can send up to 100% of the power to whichever wheel, left or right, has the most amount of grip, just to help you like pull out of curves and all. It's actually quite clever. It has some brake fire. So on a curve, when you go into a curve like that, that diff actually works. But I'm pretty sure, because I'm not like pushing the car a lot, I'm not giving the differential any work. But hey, I can't really push this car that much. But we'll just try another pull down here. It does have some backfires on overrun, which sounds really, really cool. I'll do one big pull now. Key just fell. I need to find the key. It fell somewhere. Are we running the key? Somewhere. I'll try to find it later, but the key fell somewhere down there. But yeah, I'll try another pull for you guys. Also, the roads are quite bumpy, so I'm looking out for that too. It looks a bit clear here. Let's try a pull. Okay, because these newer cars have like the OPF, which is the petrol particulate filter, they don't really sound as loud as older cars, but hey, it still does all the pops. It's still a GTI. And remember, a GTI isn't supposed to be all about mad performance or whatsoever. Compared to like say a Honda Civic Type R, that's all out crazy, like it's just mad. A GTI should also be very relaxing, so VW needs to balance it out. So it can't be all loud. They also need to make it quite relatively quiet, because most people who buy these cars, I think I'm just gonna go back now, most people who buy these cars, they also use them to commute to work or other places. Like they also use them as family cars, so it needs to perform well on that side of things as well. So yeah, so you shouldn't mistaken a GTI to like a Honda Civic Type R or I don't know what else, all the crazy rivals. But hey, it excels quite well at like balancing both performance and daily driving, I'll call it. But I'll go to close the window again. We'll try a pull again. The brakes are also very solid. Like it stops really, really well. That is some tight braking I just did right there, but it stops really well. Short shifting as well. I'm constantly driving in manual because I just prefer manual. And you drive it in auto, it tends to hold the gears for way too long in sport. Sounds quite good, eh? Sounds really, really good. But I think that's pretty much it for today's video. Really hoping you guys did enjoy it. And remember, this car is for sale at Lani Motors, so if any of you guys are interested, you should pop in and you will be able to check it out. But yeah, that's cheers from me.